that's been talked about within tech circles for a while, but rarely so starkly and so publicly.
I think in the future we'll have AI coworkers. Those people won't even, they're not even people. They wouldn't be able to be embodied.
AI is not going to take your jobs. The person who uses AI is going to take your job.
AI will be 1,000,000 times more powerful in 4 years than it is right now today. 1,000,000 times. Who knows what we can do with that? There's a lot of things we can do with that.
What used to take, a week's worth of work to plan out for a month, now it's a day's worth of work and the whole month is planned.
This chatbot isn't like you've seen even last year.
The receptionist was a game changer because it allowed us to see behind the curtains of the missed calls.
Some businesses are seeing 30% more leads. Others are booking 50% more appointments. Churn is down, retention is up. The business is using AI and growing faster than ever.
We grew 72% last year, year over year, and that's directly related to Vendasta.
This is your opportunity to help your customers actually change their lives and help your customers be way more efficient. And they're going to be so happy with you, and you're going to keep that customer for life. But remember, it's a gold rush, so there's never been a better time. You have to start now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Vendasta Connect. We are so glad that you're here. First off, before we get going, I just want to acknowledge that we know that your time is valuable, and we deeply appreciate you taking some of that valuable time, marking it off in your calendar, and joining us at our event here. I hope you're enjoying your summer so far, and around here, we've been hard at work reimagining how local businesses grow. I'm your host, Jeff Tomlin, co-founder of Vendasta. Today is a big moment for us. You're joining us as we showcase our evolution into an AI customer acquisition and engagement platform. And you're going to see exactly what that means for your business and your clients. This event is all about conversations, and not just any conversations, AI-powered conversations that help businesses engage faster, respond smarter, and convert more leads across every channel. Because let's face it, legacy tools leave too many leads on the table. Missed calls, ignored chats, long response times, and disjointed tools make it hard to close a loop. It's a little like trying to run a marketing campaign with a rotary phone, and sadly, some of us remember what those used to be like. But anyway, that's what we're here to fix. Today, we'll show you how Conversations AI and other new tools are helping businesses transform the customer journey from first call to 5 stars and deliver better results at every step. Here's what you can expect. First, we'll hear from Stanton at Neighborly, who will share how they achieved a 372% increase in lead to revenue conversions across AI conversations, using AI conversations across voice, SMS, email, and chat. Then Brian Larson, our VP of Strategy, will walk us through Vendasta's platform direction and how it aligns with the future of customer acquisition and engagement. After that, Neher will demonstrate Conversations AI in action and show you how it captures leads, books appointments, and responds in real time so no opportunities missed. Next, Nykea Behiel will host a panel with 2 of our partners who are already using AI to engage their customers, win more business, and drive retention. They'll share how their strategies are being employed and what's working best for them so far. We'll finish with 2 focused workshops. First, the AI employee go-to-market blueprint will guide you through packaging, pricing, and positioning strategies that will help you sell AI as a solution to real business problems. Secondly, unlocking custom capabilities. That's where you'll learn and explore how to customize AI-powered workflows to solve specific business challenges and unlock new use cases. So the team is live in the chat during the event. Ask questions, drop your thoughts, and connect with other attendees. Don't worry if you've missed something. We're recording this, and we're going to send out the recording after the event is done. So without further ado, I want to get things started here. First up, we have Stanton. Luke is the Senior Vice President of Franchise Support Services at Neighborly, where he leads customer experience innovation across the company's portfolio of home service brands. And with over a decade of leadership at Neighborly and ProTradeNet, Luke has played a key role in driving franchise growth operational excellence, and the adoption of AI to modernize local service delivery. Take it away, Luke.
Hi, everyone. Luke Stanton, SVP for Franchise Support Services over here at Neighborly. Super excited to be with you guys today. We've had a very long-standing relationship with the great folks at Vendasta, and they've been a part of our journey here on how we support our franchise owners and support our customers. Just quick intro on Neighborly. We're a home services franchising organization. We have 19 brands, a little over 5,000 franchise owners globally, and we fit into that space of practically anything that touches the home. And as you can imagine, lots of different entry points from a consumer standpoint, lots of different things happen around the home. And so excited to share with you guys today just a little peek about our journey, what we're doing, and really just how the Vendasta product has come alongside and helped us to grow and to support our customers and our franchise owners. So lots of interesting things to share with you guys in that regard. And so we'll go ahead and jump into it. It's interesting, just the space that we're in. And, we're really here to talk about all things AI, right? And, what I love about this space is, you kind of forget things. And I remember when, despite how young I look, I don't know if you guys are thinking that, but let me just say it. I do remember when the internet came on and getting the CDs in the mail, and then you're opening up the AOL package, and then you're chunking these things across the neighborhood. I remember that space, right? The dial-up noise, everything, the modem. And in terms of things that affect the world around us that are revolutionary, the internet obviously was very impactful. And in really short order, we're seeing, a magnitude through the AI space that is significantly beyond the internet. And of course, because it's iterating and changing so quickly, everything around us is changing and evolving. And one of them in particular is consumer expectations. And if you think that AI won't affect that consumer interaction, and that there's going to be, and there is to some degree, some sort of delay based off of the segment of adoption. But if you're not in the forefront of that and digging as deep as you can into the AI of things space, it's a really dangerous space that you might get left behind. And so, I'll give you one little snippet of an example. Coming out of COVID, right? That was an event that honestly increased mass adoption of technology. And a really great example of that is my 91-year-old grandfather who, is FaceTiming on his iPhone, right? So those things all of a sudden became a lot easier to some degree because just the global population, everybody was forced to interact through technology. And now you've got AI coming on the scene. And so the adoption of things like that are going to tremendously affect and speed up what consumer expectations. Consumers, once they have needs now, they're looking for a service provider and they need that expectation to be solved today, right? Even through the younger generations that are coming up, their expectations are super high. And the way that you can start meeting those expectations in a way that we previously probably could not, are through deploying the right systems and processes to get that done. So super exciting space to be in, but something that is just dramatically changing the space around us. And so to give you guys a little bit of a insight into some of our journey, if you look at all the different ways that a consumer might come in and request service and get connected, without the right systems and processes optimizing that customer journey, it's just the nature of the space. Every contractor out there probably has a poor answer rate answering the phone, bad follow-up sequence, bad outbound programs. They're not getting back to customers in a timely fashion. And when you don't do those kinds of things well, the customer moves on. That's the state that we're in today, right? And so we did a pretty big analysis on our consumer journey. Where's the customer? How quickly are we to respond? How quickly are we to respond to leads that come in through other forms beyond the landline? What's happening in that space? And the reality is that we just kind of had some leaks, right? There were just spaces where the customer is leaking out. It's not because anyone is running a bad business necessarily. It's just the nature of consumer coming in, a lot of activity, a lot of things happening. How are they moving through that funnel in an organized fashion? So we're not any different than anybody else. You're not any different than anybody else. But because of the technology that are at our fingertips, and Vendasta is a great leading organization in this space, you now have opportunity to connect things that scale quickly. And then what I basically say is it fixes those leaks. Any space, any opportunity for that consumer to kind of leave, you've got this infrastructure in place that helps us to better capitalize on that. So when you think about speed and response time, the consumer is looking for an answer, right? They didn't call you to get a voicemail, right? Or they didn't call you to get a call back. They called you expecting somebody's going to pick up. And even if that call is mixed, when you can start interacting through SMS, it still engages with that customer. And what I think is brilliant about the AI of things is, because we've all had some experience with basically a dumb bot, right? Whether that's SMS or online, you're interacting with something that isn't intelligent necessarily, right? It's following a list of protocol, which is a bit fixed. And again, the thing that is so tremendous about AI is that you're engaging with something that more or less is like reasoning with you as to why you should do business with them. And so it's far more dynamic, far more interactive. And while it's not intentional that you trick the customer into thinking that they're talking to a person, it does allow us to, offer much more nuanced conversation and connection. And when you do that with speed and you do that with consistency, you're putting yourself in a position that is head and shoulders above the competition around us, right? And so like those things are available to us. And again, with the AI things and the tools that are out there, they're really equalizing the playing field in some interesting ways where it's not just the large scale organizations that are going to be able to do this. These tools are also going to make the smaller contractor much more effective. So what was the old journey, right, which is the traditional journey, the conventional journey, which wasn't that long ago, call it 18 months ago, 2 years ago, it's now speeding up this new expectation for what it means to do service with someone. So for us, this is, a much more zoomed out version. But this is kind of what the plumbing starts to look like in terms of where the customer comes in, whether it's a website, once they hit the website, web form, do they call in? Where's that customer journey kind of taking them through interacting with you as an organization? And you've got to have all the right trigger points because there's just lots of different places for the customer to eject. And when that happens, what's the follow-up sequence? What are the things that you can get connected with that draw that customer back in? And so this is really just an overview, a very zoomed out overview of how the Vendasta product basically puts you in the driver's seat of ensuring that you're connecting with that customer immediately, right? And meeting their need and preventing them from going to competition or having a poor consumer experience. So, this slide, great service doesn't scale until you add AI. I think there's a real reality to, as a human, like just deploying through labor, you do have constraints. You just do. You have constraints on, did someone not show up for work because they're sick? Did they have to leave for an appointment? And there's just, again, because of the structure, traditionally, there's just opportunities to miss the consumer. And really, me as a consumer, I'm sure you as a consumer too, you've all had this experience. If you've got a need, you're just looking for that need to get met. And some of you prefer texting, some of you prefer chat online, you prefer talking to somebody. And the AI of things and the tech stack that Vendasta has built and deployed, again, is putting organizations, contractors, companies in a position to where, again, that small contractor can scale and serve, in a competitive way to even the large scale organization. So it's pretty tremendous. And here's the easy thing is, because everyone's trying to figure out what do they do in this space. And let me just pause here for a second. If you're on this call and you don't have a Chat GPT account, and I'm just picking that one. I don't really care what you pick, but if you've never, look, it's like $20 a month. I don't know what it is. It's something like that. It's really inexpensive. If you're not using the paid service just so that you can get exposed to the latest iteration, the latest development, like if you're not using those tool sets, look, you are absolutely missing out. And like here's what's happening, right? You'd say, someone might say, like, if you needed an answer, you might say, oh, I don't know, Google it, right? Like already people are saying, I don't know, ask ChatGPT. Okay, like that's a really profound mind shift in, when you say Google it, and that's very familiar, you know exactly what I'm talking about, to say, I don't know, ask ChatGPT. It is representative of how search is going to get impacted and how people are going to use the tools at their disposal to get the answers they need. No longer do we have to go search for something, which is essentially like fishing, right? Now you go to ChatGPT or the AI stack like it, and you're getting actionable answers. Right now, it hallucinates. It's not right 100% of the time. Got to take it with a grain of salt. But you've got to get yourself ingrained with those tools so that you can be familiar and understand and have some knowledge base for how they interact overall. The Vendasta stack is great, but you being a student of the world around you when it comes to how technology is developing and positioning as a company is just really, really critical. So some of you might be saying, I don't know, AI is a little bit of an unknown. It's talked about everywhere, but I really don't know what to do with it. The worst thing you could do is stay in a place of inaction, right? And the best thing you can do is just start feeling forward, just kind of getting into it, making mistakes, and not being in a position of waiting to see what happens in the space. So really important that you take some sort of action forward to familiarize yourself with this. Now, I have said this, right? AI is going to kind of level the playing field because it means that the individual contractor who's got one other tech or whoever it might be is now going to be competitive in a way that they previously would have to like spin and grow their way towards, right? So everybody now gets access to tool sets that make them competitive. But here's something that I think is really interesting that happens, at least until Tesla makes a really like articulated robot that can, do things in the market around us. But I think we're still fairly far away from that. And I don't even know how much of a disruptor that's going to be for, where people prefer human interaction. But I don't know, we'll see. In the immediate, this is what I think starts to happen. I think that we start to use technology, we start to use AI, we start to interact and talk with these instances to get things solved. But I think the human component as a result of this doesn't go away. And I think things change, right? Things shift. There will be new dynamics at play, no question. But I don't think that the human interaction becomes less important. I actually think it indexes the other direction, meaning now every instance where a human is at play, one-on-one, in the home, on the phone, where things escalate, the expectation for that human interaction, consumers are going to be hyper-focused on authenticity, the genuine nature of that interaction. They're not going to be, they're not going to show as much grace for someone having a bad day, right? Their expectations for the human interaction are going to go through the roof. And so something to think about, because as you're deploying technology, it means that we've also got an opportunity to up our game with the people end of the functions that are still at play. And that's not going away, right? Like people still want to talk to other people. Like we're relational, right? Like that's why we have communities and that's why we have friends, hopefully. That stuff matters in a really big way. And so both kind of get affected by this, but it doesn't mean that we throttle AI or its deployment or anything like that. But it does mean that you have to pay special attention to how you interact when you do have those human interactions. So again, something to pay attention to. One of the things that we talk a lot about today as the consumer comes through is just how do we automate that lead flow. And that's a really critical piece because, again, you have all these different places where the customer can inject from that process. And so if someone comes through, maybe they were submitting or calling or doing something that was convenient for them, and now they're waiting on a reaction back or response back. And the critical piece here is speed and consistency. And so really what that boils down to is a program. And so if you're going to reach back out to someone, what does that speed look like? What does that program look like? Obviously, it's automated, but what are the right touch points? I'll give you an example. I have 3 kids. When I go home, it is insane. When I'm at work, I'm trying to focus and get things done, so I'm pretty occupied most of the day. But when I still have to schedule dental appointments and do all the kinds of things that you have to do to function in life. And I give you an example of one of our own franchise owners. I was having a problem with my HVAC unit, and I texted them when it was convenient for me. And then they texted me back. It wasn't necessarily convenient for me when they texted me back, but they don't know that. But what they did do was follow a program, and they just respectfully, relentlessly reached out to me and hit me 5, 6, 7 times. And I think it was like the 7th time where I was like, all right, here's a text message. Let me respond and let me get the service scheduled. And that's with my own brands as a consumer. If it's humans involved in that only, we typically stop, if we followed up at all, after 1 or 2 instances. And it's not because I'm angry at them or not interested. It's literally just because life is chaotic and we are in a distracted world. All right. And the winners in that space are the ones who can respectfully and both relentlessly go after that consumer. And so from a lead flow automation standpoint, you've got to have the right sequencing. Again, the Vendasta tech stack and the resources, the people, the culture of that company are such that we've been able to dial in a lot of the things necessary to support our customers the way that we need to uniquely support our customers. So a few things in terms of just how we approach it. Obviously we're using conversational AI, but we're really trying to apply this methodology to everything from review, reputation management, the responses within those reviews. We have franchise owners have multiple locations, so roll-up data, and just the automated campaigns. Every instance where we can just automate a touch point and kind of take ourselves out of the equation. So we apply that speed, that consistency, and within a dynamic that is both genuine and authentic. Those are the kinds of things that drive outcome. And again, Vendasta has been really strategic in that for us. So for us, what that means is we have a lot more visibility into what our funnel looks like, a lot more visibility into what the consumer journey looks like. And as a result, because we have visibility and we're shining that light right in the right direction, we're able to see all the improvements that come from it or come with it, and then continue to incrementally improve upon the spaces where, again, we just had leakage. And because of the nature of the consumer, every business has that. No one's necessarily insulated against it unless you have the right stack in place to capitalize on it. Something we talk a lot about here is this idea of corporate crime. And that's where, something that's happening that we've been let happening under our watch that should not happen. Like, I'll give you an example. The phone rings, you should answer it. If the phone's ringing and you're not answering it, that's corporate crime, okay? You got to answer your phone. Those are like the fundamentals on what it means to be doing things the right way. So if you think about the consumer journey, just to throw some statistics at you guys, and it's a pain that you're not necessarily aware of, right? But it's worth looking into is when you engage with a customer and a customer is trying to engage with you, and you're missing that opportunity to engage with them, and you're missing the opportunity in the sequence of events for outbound, it looks something like this, right? 85% of your customers are not going to call you back. So they called you, you didn't answer, they're probably not calling you back. They're probably just moving down the list. 40% of companies fail to follow up after the first initial contact. That's absolutely true. And then you think about the second, the third, the fourth, and the fifth. Nobody's doing that. 30% of that group go straight to your competitors, and 60% of the customers just fall out of the funnel entirely and don't say anything, don't do anything. And so this, again, is the current state, the normal space that we're in. And businesses, to some degree, are still thriving in that space. What happens when you really start to dial in, that customer journey? So for us, what that looks like is conversations, contacts, leads, and customers. And as you go through that funnel, there's always a trickle down, and everybody has a different conversion rate on leads, different conversion rate on contacts. But ultimately, what does that trickle down to into a final conversion rate? So if you look at this is what's interesting, leads that are coming through and applying the right tech stack methodology. You've already spent the money to generate that lead, right? You as a business owner, if you're in the marketplace, you've already spent the money to make the phone ring. So those are sunk costs. This is really about optimizing what you've already spent and getting the right tool set in place to do that. So it's really easy once you start to optimize that customer journey to exponentially increase the returns on that. So, knowing what your conversion rate is in its current state, applying the right tech stack dramatically increases that conversion rate on leads that you've already spent money to generate, because you're fully capitalizing, fully optimizing every single customer journey that comes to that system. And what does that mean? It means that for the dollars that are spent in the marketplace to generate that lead activity, when you're not missing any leads and you've got that program in place to fully cover and dominate that customer experience, obviously your cost per lead drops. And for us, it dropped pretty dramatically, simply because we applied a better methodology for connecting with those leads. I'll give you guys a little bit of a smarter, more specific view into one of our brands, Molly Maid, who spent a lot of energy dialing in their specific customer experience with the AI receptionist and how we handle that customer journey, how we handle, what kind of service they were looking for. And again, this really just comes down to automating as much as we can the workflows to get that customer to convert. And we had a tremendous outcome because of that. In fact, we exponentially grew the revenue related to that just because we're going about that customer journey a lot smarter than we previously did. So, a couple things I want to challenge you guys on. One, just encourage you guys again, simple thing to do, go back and get a ChatGPT account or whatever it is, right? And become as familiar as you can with it. In fact, go get an account and just say, hey, teach me about AI. And that's a really basic entry point. I know some of you are super advanced here and you're probably rolling your eyes, but we all started there to some degree. So important to engage regardless, right? And then, for us, something that's just been so reciprocal in our relationship with Vendasta is that we can really lean into that relationship and their expertise. Their leaders, their executive leadership team, those are very smart people that are genuinely interested in creating enterprise value for organizations. And so they've been tremendous partners in being able to dig in and understand what else should we be doing. And here's the reality, like we're all 2 years into this, we're all brand new. AI is the fastest iterating thing in the history of mankind. So in 6 months, heck, in 6 weeks, it'll be different, it'll change. And so you've got to stay on the leading edge of that as much as you can. But specifically, look at what's happening within the customer journey around you. And that's a space to pay attention to understand, is that fully optimized? Am I doing everything I should be doing in that space? Am I leveraging all the right tools? So that was a little bit about our story. I probably went really fast on some of that, but super happy to be able to connect with you guys today and grateful to the Vendasta team for allowing me to present. Again, it's been a great partnership. I couldn't say enough about you guys and the team. You've been tremendous in our own journey in supporting our customers. So thank you for your time, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day.
A huge thank you to Luke. You may not know this, but he's a bit of a celebrity around here at Vendasta because of the results that he's driven and his visionary approach to adopting AI. So Luke, we appreciate you sharing your insights with us today and so generously sharing your time. All right, we had a poll going during Luke's presentation, and the question was, are you currently using agentic AI for your business? So let's pull up the results here. And boy, like around 65% of you are saying yes. And it doesn't surprise me that the Vendasta community is a little ahead of the curve here. And so about 65% of you understand clearly the value that we're going to be able to drive for local businesses. And the other 35% of you are going to be pleasantly surprised as we continue the journey here. Let's keep the conversation going. We're going to throw up another poll. Share your thoughts, drop your experiences, and connect with the Vendasta team. We're here to help, and we want to hear from you. All right, up next is someone who truly understands the future of customer acquisition because he's been helping shape it here at Vendasta for over a decade. Bryan Larson is our VP of Strategy. He's known for bringing expert insight, big picture thinking, and just the right amount of charisma to every conversation. He's a great speaker. He's a sharp strategist. Let's be honest, he's an all-around nice guy. In this session, Conversations Are the New Clicks, Bryan will walk us through how AI-powered real-time engagement is replacing the traditional marketing funnel and what that means for local businesses and the partners who support them. If you want to understand how to stay ahead in the new customer journey, this is the one you don't want to miss. So let's take it away, Bryan.
Right on. Thanks for that kind introduction, Jeff. Well, let's make sure you can hear me out there. So thanks for that kind introduction, Jeff. And hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me. So today we're going to actually do something really special and explore how conversational AI is transforming the customer journey, essentially shaping the way that consumers discover, interact with, and buy from businesses online. And so while my focus today is going to be on recent shifts in consumer behavior, I'll stop along the way as well and look at what Vendasta is doing in developing AI solutions to help businesses adapt and thrive in this exciting new landscape. So let's dive in. So, there we go. Okay, let's start with a statement that's already a reality for many forward-thinking organizations out there, and it might also feel like a bold prediction for others. And that is that conversational AI will soon become the primary method of engagement across the entire customer journey. So conversational AI refers to how humans, like me or like you, interact with technology using natural language in a way that feels intuitive and human-like. And just to be clear, this applies to both voice and text-based conversations. So by now, essentially all of us have interacted with an AI chatbot or a voice assistant, so we've experienced it. So conversational AI now permeates every phase of the customer journey, from brand awareness and research to post-sale engagement and loyalty. So we're going to look at this entire journey today, starting at the beginning, at the early top of funnel stages where customers conduct research and consider their options. So to illustrate my point, I'd like you to all imagine that you've got a date planned for Friday evening. So I don't know, maybe who's out there? Like maybe Patrick, I don't know. Do you have a hot date planned? I don't know, Ram? I don't know, maybe a hot date planned for you. If you've got a hot date, let us know in the chat. Okay, so we've got this hot date planned. Now, leading up to the date, we're gonna do something very thoughtful, and we're gonna send flowers to that special someone. This is our objective. So if you're like me, though, you might be a little clueless for how this actually works. So for instance, you know, who delivers flowers locally? What florist is known for the best quality? What type of flower is appropriate for the occasion? I don't want to send something that might be better for a funeral. And does same-day delivery exist? You know, we need some answers here if we're going to do this properly. So if you would have asked me a few years ago, I would have started with a simple keyword search like flower delivery in Saskatoon or honestly, whatever city that you're from. That search would have brought up the local pack of businesses on Google. Very, very helpful, but still somewhat limited. Now, fast forward to maybe a year ago, and I might have phrased my search in the form of a question, receiving an AI-generated summary alongside some helpful links. So this process pulls some information together well, but there's still more research to be done. Now today, I'd simply enter all of my questions into a conversational AI tool and receive direct, comprehensive answers without ever leaving the interface. I'd converse with it until I'd learned everything that I need to know. So from these simple queries alone, I can learn just about anything from the best local florists, their delivery options, and even tips for adding a personal touch. But on the left, you can see how many websites I actually needed to visit in order to get this information. This is known as zero-click search, something that many of us are already familiar with. But this is where people get answers without visiting a single website. So in a recent interview with Matthew Prince, he's the CEO of Cloudflare, he stated that about 75% of search queries are now answered without users clicking through to a website. And while this data does fluctuate a little bit between desktop and mobile interactions, both are on the rise. In fact, we can see a sharp increase from roughly 50% in 2019 to this 75% today. And traditional features like the local pack and the knowledge panel, they continue to play a role. But recent increases are driven largely by AI-powered overviews and conversational responses. So this trend will only accelerate as companies like Google roll out its AI mode. This is a new experience that will likely become the default over its traditional search tab that they simply called All. Now, I guess it wasn't all. I guess we need something new. And it's not just Google. Sam Altman, who's the CEO over at OpenAI, recently stated during a TED Talk that 10% of the world now uses ChatGPT regularly. So, take a moment. 10% of the world, let that one soak in. And the people from Forbes caught up with Altman at this same event and proceeded to estimate that ChatGPT has somewhere between 800 million and 1 billion active users today. So that's more than 1 in every 10 people on the planet, which is absolutely staggering. So the real question then becomes, how do businesses like yours or your clients participate in this new AI-driven discovery process? How do they take part in the AI conversation? It starts by rethinking and augmenting their traditional SEO strategy. And don't get me wrong, I'm not one of those SEO is dead type people. SEO is still important, but businesses need to incorporate a new set of tactics that improve generative engine optimization, or GEO. Now, you'll hear other terms out there like AI SEO, AI search, and AIO, which are all being used to describe this same space, and also just to make things extra confusing when you're describing this to your clients. But regardless of what term the industry finally lands on, think of SEO as a service that focuses on keywords and backlinks, primarily focused on driving website traffic, whereas GEO focuses on structured data in AI-friendly content formats, things like FAQs, how-to articles, product and service pages that are utilized well-structured schemas and great examples of content that generate AI citations. And unlike traditional search, where you can pay for visibility, maybe through PPC or paid search, in AI-driven search, you have to earn your place in the conversation. It's purely organic, at least for now. The good news, many SEO strategies carry over, but GEO introduces new opportunities to optimize business content for AI-driven discovery. Now, let's be clear, not all AI platforms act the same. So a one-size-fits-all strategy, unfortunately, won't work. So if we look at a recent analysis of 30 million citations, we can see that each AI platform has its own unique preference when sourcing information that it uses when generating a response. So maybe some big brands out there might rely on things like Wikipedia or traditional media to drive citations. The small and medium-sized businesses around us have to compete by focusing on localized, high-impact channels. This means creating helpful, credible content on their website, actively contributing to relevant community discussions, and building a strong presence on social media. Now, while it's important to tailor your GEO strategy to your business's unique needs, here's just a list of some of the foundational approaches that you can start using today that will benefit any business. And as mentioned, there's natural overlap here with SEO. So think of this as an expansion of your current strategy rather than a complete overhaul. Now, I did mention that I'd hint at some of the things that Vendasta has in the pipe coming up in the future, and we're actively working on tools to help you and your business clients navigate this shift, including an AI search specialist to assess, grade, and improve AI search performance, or GEO, for local businesses. In addition, we're enhancing our AI content creator to help produce content designed for AI-driven discovery across search, chat interfaces, and other generative platforms. So you'll see major advancements in both of these AIs in the near future. Now, let's clear up one common misconception. Just because a business may be receiving less traffic does not mean that they'll necessarily receive less sales. So for example, if we rewound time back to 2012, there might be 1 million searches in a business's niche that might attract, let's say, 15,000 website visits and roughly 400 sales. Where today you might see far fewer visits due to zero-click search, but those who do visit are far more qualified, That's because the casual browsers are being filtered out. The traffic businesses receive comes from buyers who have already completed their research and possess strong commercial intent. This is an important little thing to consider. So simply put, consumers these days are more likely to visit a website when it's time to transact. Which brings us to the next stage in the customer journey, the conversion stage or transaction stage. Most every business's favorite part. So in our case, the transaction, if you remember at the start of this presentation, was to send those darn flowers to somebody special. So I actually did this. I visited a local florist website, was well designed, packed with information, and even offered a full e-commerce solution. Honestly, very, very impressive. But for me, I still felt like something was missing. And I'm not alone. 73% of customers now expect businesses to have chatbots or conversational interfaces for convenient interactions. Because even on a good website, I still had a few last-minute questions, and I'm no longer inclined to hunt through navigations and web pages to find answers, especially when AI can do this for me. This is where conversational commerce comes in, a subcategory of conversational AI. It's an AI-driven chatbot or voice assistant that not only answers questions and provides service, but helps capture leads and close the sale. So where our journey began with broad, top-of-funnel conversation and tools like ChatGPT, it now transitions to highly personalized, business-specific conversations powered by AI that's connected to their data. I mean, you could ask ChatGPT if a local florist in your city had pruning shears in stock, but it just won't know. But a small business's AI can, and with Vendasta, it can do it today. So beyond chat, businesses are leveraging voice AI technology, enabling natural, real-time spoken interactions. And thanks to recent advancements in latency and human-like voice quality, you can help small businesses deploy powerful voice AI solutions. So in fact, 84% of businesses surveyed plan to increase their investment in voice AI within the next 12 months. And 86% see voice AI as a key driver for making customer experiences more accessible. For instance, handling multiple languages or assisting those with disabilities. These are clear signals that voice AI is quickly becoming a foundational solution that delivers engaging customer experiences while reducing operational costs. So many of you have already experienced the value here with Vendasta's AI Receptionist, which handles calls, SMS, web chats, reducing missed opportunities and capturing leads. And just like we saw from Luke's presentations, the results speak for themselves. This is an AI that is deeply connected to an expanding set of rich business data captured and maintained within the Vendasta platform, and it gets better every day. Alongside the data is an expanding set of powerful capabilities like lead capture, appointment scheduling, and even missed call text back. In addition to Vendasta's capabilities, the platform also integrates with third-party solutions like Shopify, for instance, for inventory lookups and so much more. And it's been so exciting to follow what our partners have created so far. The options are literally endless. And not to get too nerdy, but with the emergence of Model Context Protocol, or MCP, these integrations will become even easier, allowing businesses to connect their AI employees to the tools they already use. So this is the AI that effectively captures leads and drives sales with an evolving set of capabilities. And for us, that means recommending those perfect flowers and driving the transaction forward. So with the flowers sent, we can confidently move on to the next phase in the customer journey. Here we enter the post-purchase phase of the journey, where ongoing customer engagement and building advocacy is essential in driving retention and repeat purchases. And if done properly, That positive customer feedback can be utilized to attract more customers as they become increasingly ready to buy. So think of a 5-star review, for instance, or a positive online mention that entices another consumer to go ahead and choose that company and purchase. This is where AI like Vendasta's review specialist will step in. This AI carries the conversation forward over communication channels like email and SMS to help generate reviews and build online reputation. An AI that can respond to customer reviews on your behalf and be set up to notify you when a human is required to address a concern or follow up on an action item. At the macro level, conversational AI now plays a key role in every phase in the customer journey. And at the micro level, we see more and more customer interaction points being impacted or even fully automated by AI technology. At Vendasta, none of these steps are looked at in a silo. It all has to play together with a customer-first approach. The best part is our partners, businesses like yours, don't have to sell anything vastly different. The products you sell today are the same products that power our AI workforce. So for example, if you're already selling Conversations AI, formerly called Inbox, you're already powering the AI receptionist. Social marketing powers our content creator, and reputation management, premium powers our reputation specialist, and so on. So in summary, I'll leave you with this. Embrace zero-click search. It's here to stay. The goal here is to boost your business's visibility in AI-powered search results by enhancing your SEO efforts with a local geo strategy. Second, deploy conversational commerce, AI-managed web chat, or phone calls. Here we aim to engage website visitors and inbound callers through real-time conversations. And remember, in the era of zero-click search, these visitors and callers are often people with high purchase intent. Lastly, I'll say automate the post-purchase engagement. Follow up with customers automatically to gather feedback and reviews to help improve your business and turn satisfied buyers into advocates who help drive ongoing business growth. Let's do it together, because together we're well positioned to reshape the future for SMBs and help them implement powerful AI-first technology. So thanks for listening. Much love. Enjoy those flowers out there, all you special someones. And let's keep the conversation going. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Love to chat with you. And I'll hand it back over to Jeff.
All right, sorry for the little pause there. Fantastic as always, Bryan. And while Bryan is rather used to presenting to large crowds, it's hard to present to especially live to thousands of people when you can't see their reaction on their faces. So let's give Bryan a little bit of love in the chat. We had another poll going when Bryan was chatting, and we are looking for your reaction to this statement. I would feel comfortable having a voice receptionist answer calls for my business. And wow, it's like over 80% of you, only 4% said no, over 80% of you said yes. So I've got good news. This is going to work out well for all of us here. There's a huge opportunity in front of us. And now that we've explored the strategy, it's time to see the technology in action. So next up is a familiar face here at Vendasta Connect, and that's John Neher. John is one of our resident AI experts and someone who's been deeply involved in shaping how AI comes to life across the Vendasta platform. So if you've joined us in the past Connect events, you're in for a great session. This time, John is taking us inside the AI workforce in action, showing us exactly how AI-powered employees are supporting every stage of the customer journey, from the very first call to that all-important 5-star review. You'll see how AI works across voice, text, and chat to capture leads, book appointments, answer questions, and turn conversations into conversions. This is your practical playbook for delivering real results with AI. Let's jump in. Here's John with a live demo.
Well, well, well. Thank you very much, Jeff. And thanks, everyone. It's so great to be here. Always a privilege, always a pleasure. I hope I can live up to GOAT status for you today, as I'm seeing in the chat there. And I'm really excited to be talking to you today about how Vendasta can take a customer from that first call all the way to leaving a 5-star review with help of AI employees and workflow automations, giving you an idea of what's possible today and also some of the great things that we have coming up for you in the future. So earlier this month, we were super excited to release Conversations AI, making it easier than ever for businesses to stay on top of communicating with their customers quickly and efficiently. The free version is automatically included, and it's great for consolidating messages from email and social platforms. The standard version lets the AI chat receptionist work on your behalf over web chat and WhatsApp. The Pro version gives you a phone number that the receptionist can use to send SMS messages, and Premium allows the receptionist to talk directly with customers on the phone. And at the same time as the release of Conversations AI, we were also excited to introduce a number of new features to our AI employees, and more specifically, the AI receptionist. Our team has been hard at work to help the AI receptionist understand callers better by integrating new AI models and tuning performance. We've also been able to increase the amount of time someone can call the AI receptionist so that 99% of calls don't end before the customer is satisfied, but you still can ignore some of those spammers who won't take up all your time. You can now upload files like PDFs and CSVs to give your AI receptionist or any AI employee knowledge in formats that you already use. The AI employees can now use APIs to get information from other systems or even take actions like looking up pricing or booking a service from another piece of software that you use daily. And finally, your AI employee can be called upon in automation workflows to respond or take action using their particular knowledge and skills. So like we heard from Bryan, it's becoming increasingly clear that customers are expecting more from their buying experiences, and that largely comes down to having a conversational buying journey. The great thing is that with Vendasta's AI receptionist, AI conversations can happen throughout the customer journey today. And I'm going to take some time to show you where that can happen and how that can happen throughout different stages of the customer journey. So some of the highest impact work the AI receptionist can take on is right before a customer makes a purchase and reaches out to a business. The AI receptionist ensures that no matter what channel a customer reaches out on, they will always get a helpful and timely response. So business owners can rest easy knowing that the AI receptionist summarizes and records every call it has, keeping a clear timeline of the incoming and the outgoing events, so you know who said what and when. The call transcript makes it easy to see the exact wording a customer used when it's time to follow up, or to confirm that your AI receptionist has the knowledge it needs to be the star employee that it's capable of being. The AI receptionist can answer phone calls on either their assigned conversations number or from calls forwarded on a business's existing phone line. So perfect for handling after-hours calls or times when someone is otherwise unable to answer the phone. Once the AI receptionist does answer the phone, the actions it can take are flexible enough to handle almost any business process, from letting the customer know they are available to chat via text, all the way to completing booking an appointment. The AI receptionist makes sure no lead is ever lost on the phone. The AI receptionist does a fantastic job of being helpful and conversational when responding to incoming web chat messages, encouraging customers to leave their contact information. A few moments later, the conversation is visible, with the option to read detailed reasoning included, so you can see what the receptionist was thinking and know exactly where they got their information. So no matter what channel the receptionist works on, they have access to a knowledge base that is automatically filled with business profile information and can be augmented with files like PDFs and spreadsheets, so that the receptionist is referencing the same information the business uses in their day-to-day. And for those customers who just want to leave a quick note on a form, the AI receptionist is there to make sure they get a quick response. Vendasta's forms are powerful and flexible, so you can capture the information explicitly left by the customer or hidden information like their URL or UTMs. So form responses appear right in the conversation history, and with a little workflow automation can be responded to right away by the AI receptionist. But when a customer doesn't make that purchase immediately from that first conversation, that doesn't mean that the customer journey has to stop. With a combination of AI and workflow automation, a business can nurture and encourage customers further towards making a purchase if they're the right fit. The way the AI receptionist is integrated with Vendasta's CRM is one of the keys to the power and flexibility. By capturing customer interactions and data within the CRM, the AI receptionist has more additional context to provide great customer service that the business is able to use too. For example, the AI receptionist is great at picking up conversations where they left off, even across channels. So when a customer leaves their phone number via web chat, the AI receptionist can ask questions and follow up with the customer later on SMS if the conversation isn't finished. But when that lead is captured, Vendasta's automations can work together with the AI receptionist to do something like create an opportunity in the sales pipeline, making it easy to see exactly what kind of business is coming in and where customers are in that buying journey. Those pipeline stages also give great context to the AI receptionist to help them automatically nurture a lead. So for example, the AI receptionist can send helpful messages based on an opportunity moving to a new stage in the pipeline, or they can give helpful nudges when an opportunity has been stuck in one stage for too long. For service-based businesses, all of this work is really oriented towards getting customers to book an appointment, and the AI receptionist can do a great job of facilitating this, whether you use Vendasta's booking software or an outside system. Vendasta's AI employees can be configured to do just about anything by creating a capability or using a capability pre-built by Vendasta. Vendasta's default appointment capability lets your AI receptionist book directly into a calendar connected with Vendasta and choose from a variety of event types, like individual meetings or service type bookings that can be assigned to multiple people. With this capability available to use, the AI receptionist will offer to find an appointment time for customers and do a great job of suggesting the nearest available time slots when their preferred time isn't available. Businesses not using Vendasta's calendar systems can build their own booking capability today using a simplified API tool editor, making sure that the information on appointments and scheduling is where the business needs to see it. And of course, we know that the customer journey doesn't end even after a transaction has been completed. Following up with customers for feedback and reviews is an essential part of building a trustworthy digital presence and a great opportunity to make new raving fans. Vendasta's automation workflows make it easy for businesses to send review requests at the right time on the right channel for their business. That might mean sending SMS review requests right after a job has been completed, or sending an email NPS survey a few days after during business hours, and sending it again until the customer does actually leave a review. Adding in the AI receptionist allows for one more automated touch point that can help make a customer experience even better. So, for example, when a negative NPS score is given by a customer, that information is logged in the CRM as a score and as an event for context. The event shows up in the conversations view as well and gives great information for the AI receptionist to write a follow-up message to try and address any concerns that may have come up. This is all powered using the AI receptionist and by using workflow automations. There are so many great ways to involve the AI receptionist in the customer journey today, and that is only going to continue growing. As you can see, coming soon, we have even more voice choices available for you to configure the AI receptionist to represent your business brand better, and maybe make choices on the personality or tone or the languages that are available. And today, the AI receptionist can respond to messages on Facebook and Instagram, covering one more important channel that customers use. This is available for you to connect today. And the AI receptionist is really just the beginning here. Vendasta is hard at work adding in more AI employees and making existing ones better to help you get more customers and keep them. Also available today, there is a brand new AI assistant available in Partner Center to answer questions and help you out. If the AI assistant isn't able to help answer your question, it will automatically let our support team know so they can follow up with you as soon as possible. And this is the first step in having a powerful AI employee that works with you across of Vendasta. Coming soon, we will have the AI sales assistant available to record and transcribe meetings so that they're available in the Vendasta CRM. Additionally, that sales assistant will be able to identify action items and score sales effectiveness, letting salespeople be better afterwards when reviewing the calls and better in the moment by not thinking about recording all this information. Later, like Bryan mentioned, Vendasta will introduce the AI reputation specialist that can take even more varied and specialized action for review requests and review workflows, like interpreting sentiment more granularly or automatically responding to reviews as they come in. And Vendasta is working towards letting your AI employees be able to natively talk with your data, whether that comes from conversations, reviews, your social media, or somewhere else. This makes it much easier to get the context you need for your conversations instead of having to copy and paste that information into somewhere else to try and put it all together. Finally, available today in early access, Vendasta wants to give you the tools to create custom employees to meet the specific needs of any businesses while utilizing Vendasta's AI employee infrastructure. This is already in use by some of our trusted partners to test and refine the technology, and the feedback we're receiving has us incredibly excited for when everyone gets access to those custom employees in the near future. So with all that being said, let's take one look at a live demo. I was happy to show you all of those video clips, but let's take a look at something a bit more live. I am here in business app for Mr. Handy Helper, a made-up handyman business in Saskatoon being served by Mountain Media. And I made a call to them earlier today. Let's have a listen to a little bit of this call transcript.
Hi, you've reached Mr. Handy Helper, your go-to Saskatoon handyman for home repairs, furniture assembly, odd jobs, and more. Our team is currently unavailable, but I'm an AI that can understand full sentences. So if you'd like to leave a message or ask a question, I'm here to help. What can I do for you today?
Yeah, I just moved into a new place and I was looking for some help kind of getting place set up. I've got some furniture that needs to be assembled, a bookcase that needs to be like hung on the wall. There's like a light fixture that I need to replace. And then I guess just generally kind of do like some patch repair after we do this kind of work. Is that something you guys can do?
Yeah, we can definitely help with furniture assembly, hanging things on the wall, and replacing white fixtures. Also, general repairs are totally in our wheelhouse. Would you like to book a time or get an estimate for the work? If so, I can get your info to have someone reach out.
Yeah, maybe let's start with an estimate.
Great. I'll need to get your name first, please.
Yeah, it's John.
Thank you. Would you like to use the number you're calling from?
Yes, please. That's great.
Got it. Thank you. Is there anything else I can assist with, or should I have someone contact you about the estimate?
I am kind of wondering if I have like outdoor work. Is that something you folks could do this weekend?
Checking the weather for Saskatoon this weekend for you. The forecast looks clear for this weekend in Saskatoon, so outdoor work should be good to go. Would you like?
So in the interest of time, I'm going to pause there, but we see that the AI receptionist did a really good job of handling a wide array of questions that I had, and was able to capture that lead information really quickly for me there. I want to show off inside of our AI workforce that Miss Handy Helper also used a custom capability that I set up. If a handyman is working outdoors, they probably don't want to schedule meetings when the weather isn't going to let them work outdoors. So I created a lookup weather capability. So the AI receptionist can take a quick look at the weather forecast for a certain period of time and figure out whether it's going to be okay to do that work. And that was really quick and easy to set up. Now, you'll see that immediately after that conversation as well, Mr. Handy Helper, via a workflow automation, sent an SMS that used the context of our call to follow up and say, hey, reply to this message for an estimate and to finalize your booking. While that call was playing, I typed out a response on my phone. I'm going to send that. And you'll see that that comes into our conversations window very quickly. And because our Mr. Handy Helper is active and responding, we should get a response back right away. Thanks, to get your estimate and finalize your booking. It's going to try and grab my email address and just double checking that it's got the right phone number. We can look into the explanation here and see that when I set up the chat receptionist, it required both a name and an email address. So Mr. Handy Helper is doing a really good job for me here. Now, I want to show you that thing that's coming out in early access for folks right now, and that's the ability to chat with a custom AI employee. So as I go to the AI workforce, you'll see I have a create button, and if I scroll down, I've created a handyman quote expert. And this is something we're really excited to be having for folks in the near future. I can configure this AI employee however I like, using whatever purpose, whatever AI model I want. I can add capabilities or not, and I can add knowledge sources or not. And it's really exciting. This is like kind of having your own little customized LLM chat to talk to. So maybe as Mr. Handy Helper, I'm preparing quotes all the time, and I want to give accurate quotes really quickly, but I don't have a way of setting that up. But I do have a price list. Well, what I did is I gave that price list to our handyman quote expert. I'm going to start a new chat. And, I'm actually going to go back to our conversation that we had with me here. And I'm going to copy all this context. As an example, you could copy this from any system, any place that you're getting information from. But when I chat with this quote expert, I'm going to say, hey, can you help me make a quote for this customer? And then my custom AI employee, the quote expert, with the instructions that I gave it and the knowledge that I gave it, is going to give me a quote. And I could take this quote, obviously, and I could call the customer back and say, hey, this is what I'm expecting. It's looking at all of that. It's saying how it came up with it, and we have that awesome explanation available there. So this is a great way for me to use the AI internally. I can have that quote expert for me as Mr. Handy Helper. But if I wanted to, I could also use this new automation step that is available today. There is an automation step called Call an AI Employee, and that lets you select an AI employee. I chose the quote expert in this case. Give it an instruction, and then use their response from that instruction to do something like send an SMS message. So I'm going to do that. You could have this happen automatically, but maybe let's imagine that I want to send that quote automatically after I've had a chance to review. So I'm going to start that automation to send an AI generated quote here in my CRM. I'm going to start that, and pretty soon we're going to see that information come through in our conversations inbox. So the ability to use your AI employees is available in automation starting today. And we're really excited when we have custom employees available for everyone to see how you might use those more specialized and specific custom AI employees too. One last thing I wanted to make sure to show off is if you have any questions and you need help, we do have the amazing Vendasta AI Assistant available in our partner center. I'm going to, in my demo environment, ask a quick question here, and I'm going to say, we have some things like walk me through a feature that you can click, but I'm going to ask, hey, can you tell me about the product on the screen here? And the Vendasta AI Assistant is able to get the context of the screen that you're looking at, see what's on the page. You can see that it's letting us know, it's taking a quick look at the screen, and it's going to be able to explain a lot about conversations AI using the context it has in its knowledge base and also with what it's seeing there. And again, if the AI assistant isn't able to help you out immediately, we'll be make sure that it can get you to our support team who can help you out further. But what a great response there with all of the information available here. So I'm really excited about all the things that we have available today and coming up in the near future for you as well too. If you want to, you're welcome to follow me on LinkedIn as well. I'm not as suave as Bryan, but I certainly do my best. And I'm so excited to see what you start building with your AI receptionist today and all the things that you do going forward.
Thanks, John. Always a masterclass in making AI real, relevant, and results-driven in the spirit of alliteration. Now, we're running a little bit long on time. So we had a Q&A going during John's session. We're going to skip doing the live Q&A and answering in the show here. But we are going to answer every single one of those questions that came through, and we're going to send out our answers to those questions post-event. So in the spirit of time, let's keep things rolling with another fantastic, familiar face here at Vendasta Connect, Nykea Behiel, our Director of Brand and Experience. Nykea brings energy and creativity to every conversation, and today she's hosting a special panel featuring some of our incredible partners who are already seeing success with AI-powered customer engagement. This panel, Real Agencies, Real Results, is all about what it actually takes to thrive in the AI-powered local market. You'll hear from partners like Michael from Xcite Media Group and Nick from Blue River Digital, who are using Vendasta's platform to capture more leads, close more deals, and deliver 5-star client experiences without adding more to their team's plates. Over to you, Nykea.
Hello, and thank you for joining our panel to see how Vendasta partners are scaling with AI. I'm your host, Nykea Behiel, Director of Brand and Experience here at Vendasta. Welcome to the next chapter of customer engagement. Today, we're not just talking about new features or future ideas or high-level concepts. We're talking about a fundamental shift in how small businesses grow. Vendasta has just today launched its AI-native customer acquisition and engagement platform. It's a full-stack solution that helps small businesses and the partners who serve them attract, convert, and retain customers without adding headcount. This isn't just automation. These are AI employees trained on real business data, your real business data, driving real conversations and delivering an average conversion rate of 39.2% for early adopters. From chat to call, lead to loyalty, this platform powers every stage of the customer journey. Now, I'm going to introduce you to two of those visionary partners who jumped on this opportunity early and are absolutely crushing it with our AI receptionist. These two people have helped shape this moment, not just through what they do, but how they think. They were both part of our Partner Advisory Council, where they generously shared ideas, feedback, and challenges that helped us shape this very launch. They're humble, sharp, and they're visionary in how they apply AI to real-world business problems. So first, let me introduce Nick Prentice. He's the Sales and Marketing Manager at Blue River Digital. Nick's been in marketing for nearly 20 years. He started his own business before joining Blue River, where he's helped grow the agency by 4 times and expand to 35 states. He's smart, people first, and knows how to scale what works. When Nick joined us at Partner Advisory Council in June, that was his first trip to Canada. And while not everyone can be so lucky as to take in Canada from the middle first, we were honored that Nick made the trip to Saskatoon to do just that. So welcome, Nick.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us. And then next we have Michael Klabon, a partner at the Xcite Media Group. Michael's been with Vendasta for over a decade, and so he's seen us through some awkward teen years and growth. He leads sales at Xcite, a Denver-based agency known for combining great strategy with great service. Under his leadership, Xcite has driven over $745,000 in recurring revenue, and they are still growing strong. They're also the subject of a legendary case study showcasing a 100% client retention rate with AI. Fun fact, Michael has also been to exactly one place in Canada, and that's Saskatoon. So I think we're going to have to get Saskatoon Tourism Group to start paying us to do some marketing for them. Thanks for joining us, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, Nick, let's start with the problem. Before you deployed AI Receptionist, what was happening with missed calls or inbound leads, either for Blue River or for your clients?
Yeah. So I think most importantly, we want to look at how it's affected our team. We're a small business, just like our clients. So when we think of the missed opportunities that we're having, it's the same things our clients were having. And those were, after hours calls, taking too long to get back to our clients with leads. It was really just being tied up and too busy to take a phone call. To answering questions on our website, we had manual chat tools where we had to be signed in to be able to answer people's chats, and that just takes people sitting at a computer and monitoring that. We don't have time to do that, so we were missing opportunities that were there. But I think bigger picture in all of this, we were seeing our customers being they were frustrated with how to actually utilize AI in the business and do it profitably. So I'm sure, as many of you guys have experienced, we go to shows and set up booths and participate in shows alike. And when we're there, we're hearing professionals share about AI and adopting AI and using automations within their business and how important that is. But nobody seemed to be able to explain how to do that. We literally would be sitting in the back of the room listening to these presentations, and we would hear our potential customers walking out of the room saying, how do we do this? I hear you. I know we need to do it, but I don't know how to do it. And what this has allowed us to do really is to be an expert in that room. So when those folks walk out of the back of those conferences and they see us at our booth, we're able to answer those questions with knowledge and authority, because we're not only utilizing the tools, but we have them that we could resell to them, and we can answer true problems that they're experiencing, and we know they're experiencing because we've experienced it too.
That's awesome, Nick. Thanks for that. Michael, your team's been with Vendasta a long time. In fact, not only were you at the last Partner Advisory Council, but you were at the one before that. And one of my favorite things you said there was that propelled you into action with AI and it displaced your apathy. So what made you decide to try AI Receptionist, and what pain points were you looking to solve?
Yeah, it's funny how we got started. We always say this is most of the time our clients come up with better ideas than we do. And it's then we get to go back to the drawing board and figure out how we're going to solve for whatever that pain point is, or uncover whatever that opportunity was. And Vendasta kind of beat us to the punch in this one. I had a client a couple of years ago say that, "Gosh, I want to eliminate phone calls." And just, man, that's forward thinking. That's so many. They're an outdoor company, and so they rely on online bookings and phone bookings. And I thought it was just something else when he said, I want to try to get rid of all the phone calls that I possibly can. And as we dug into that with him, the problem he was trying to solve is he's limited in staff, just like so many of us are. And he wanted his communication opportunities with his client base to be maximized. And that doesn't happen if people are on the phone. And so we thought, man, that's something else. And then it was shortly after that where we were at the Partner Council, and this idea for an AI assistant came up. And we were just thinking, well, this is it. But to echo what Nick had just said, like, how do we do it? What do we do? And so just diving in with the Vendasta team and being okay to just take a little step here, a little step here. And it's amazing how quickly that, how we were able to advance, and for ourselves first and then for our clients. And so as an example for us, one of the pain points for us is we are a small business. We're 25 employees and we don't have a receptionist. And so we're all busy, and trying to answer the phone was a challenge, or making sure that we're following up is a challenge. And so by opening the door with conversations to be able to allow whom we've named Sophia to be able to be that gatekeeper for ourselves is been business changing. She's much better at taking notes than I am. There'll be times a call comes in and we don't have a receptionist, so the call is going to forward to me, and I might be in the car. And that has just changed our business, because now I'm just getting a full summary from Sophia, whether that's by, she's answering via voice or via chat. She's following up for me. So if I can't follow up right away, she's keeping the conversation moving. And then, giving me a full next step. So if here's the summary, here's what you need to do next. And then with that feeding right into the CRM, it has just changed so much for us as far as handling our own incoming calls. Plus it helps eliminate all of those spam calls that we all hate getting, the sales calls and all of that stuff. So been enormous for us. Well, so then moving that into our clients, what what I was saying earlier, our clients are bringing the best ideas to us. And now this just gives us this suite of services to help them solve for whatever that one problem might be. Again, maybe they're struggling answering their phone, or maybe they're not following up. One of the big pain points that we uncovered that we didn't even really know is, inside of the conversations, it will show you where the assistant sourced whatever information that they shared. So it's brought to light misinformation on our clients' websites. That why did they answer this? Well, here's the reason why it answered. Here's exactly where on your website it found that information. Like, oh wow, we should probably change that. And so those are some of the pain points that's one that we didn't even realize we were solving for, that has come out. And I think that's been one of the biggest benefits of this whole system, is teaching us what we didn't even know we should be asking.
I love that. And all innovation comes out of a problem. And I like that guy's like, I don't want to answer the phone anymore. Like that's the dream. Does anyone? Okay, Nick. So now that it's in place, how did AI receptionists change the game for your clients or your agency? So like what started working that wasn't working before?
Oh man. So I think the easiest way to sum this up, and I shared this at the PAC previously this year, is I actually had a client call me and tell me to turn it off because they couldn't keep up with the leads that were coming in. So it's amazing. Not all of them work the same way, but most of them do. I turned on a new one previously this week. I had 11 qualified leads in the first day for a client down in the south part of the States here. So some of them, it takes a few days to generate those, but for this client, he's getting a half dozen or so a day on average right now. So it's just amazing what it's doing. It's freeing up our customers to be able to do the jobs that they're great at. They're not all marketers, but they're business owners, and they're good at putting shingles on roofs. They're good at selling homes. They're good at selling cars. But maybe their thing is not marketing. That's what we're there for. And this suite of AI tools, specifically the conversations and the AI chat tool on the website, has come in clutch. It's so easy to set up. We can have it live on a website in less than 5 minutes, and trained on the website in that amount of time. And now with the abilities to just upload the knowledge base, we can upload PDF documents, flyers and things that the business has accumulated over the years. We're teaching one assistant everything there is to know about our brand, and really it helps streamline all the conversation throughout the entire company. It's been a blessing to us at Blue River. We're trying to scale right now. We've hit this point where we've figured out this is 11 years in business at Blue River Digital, and we've established our model, and we're excited for where the future is, and we've got processes in place. We just don't have the time to sit by a phone and answer those calls. We're going to take the qualified ones, obviously, and let the AI assistants screen that and get it to the appropriate person quickly. And so we're able to assist our clients the way we know we need to. So it's been a game changer for us. It's been a game changer for our customer base. And like Michael said, I would say that we may not be 100% like he is, but I think we're 99%. So I'm happy with that. Customers love the products and the stack of products that we have available.
That's awesome. Yeah, what we're seeing with most of our partners is that it's just so sticky. They don't turn over. And I love what you said, where the solution to the problem was so successful that it became the problem. It's like, we have too many leads, we can't deal with it. And I know that's a problem people would way rather have than the other way around. And for you, Michael, what's been the most surprising or valuable outcome since deploying AI receptionist? Like, was there a result or client reaction that really stands out?
I feel like this question is funny because I think it changes each week. What really stands out to me is the opportunity with the platform, with the training. As Nick just said, it really can be up and operational very quickly. And I think maybe the neatest part about all of this is some of our client base that is really tech averse. Like, they are not interested. They really rely on us to do all of the technical things for them. And with the AI assistant, it's given us the opportunity to gradually bring these folks that really don't want to get into technology, these service-based folks, that are not, this is not where they want to be spending their time. It's allowed them to stair step in at their own comfort zone or on their own timeline. The full suite of services is really big, and they might already be doing some of it, with other vendors. But what has been really neat is to be able to watch them progress at their own timeline. I have one client in particular that, when we got on and we showed her the demo of what this could be, she had been working with a chat bot previously, and it really wasn't changing her business in any way, shape, or form. It was just, it was just there because we were supposed to do chat. And once we were able, so she was very nervous about the word AI, about allowing her clients to interact with this. But by going through the demo environment and having her get to test it and see it, and then this stair-step approach, now she's like, well, wait a minute. So, okay, now it can do SMS. Yes. Okay, let's get going on that. Wait, it can do email. Let's get going on that. And so it is, as you mentioned, Nykea, that it's the stickiness of it has been just really rewarding, not just for us, but for our clients too, in their interactions with their client base, because their follow-up is better. So I would say that's kind of been the biggest takeaway so far.
That's awesome. Yeah, they're seeing the same wins that you folks are, just a little further down the line.
Yeah.
Hey, I love that. All right. I could talk about this all day, but let's show, not tell. Maybe it's that checkoff. Anyway, Nick, can you share your screen and walk us through something live? Yeah.
All right, here we go. So there's a lot of different things that I could share here. Obviously, we've got a chat receptionist that we've all been talking about, but I kind of wanted to share something a little bit different, something practical that our team has been using and has really allowed us to super serve our clients better. We're able to get proposals and contracts turned back around to our customers much faster. And when we're able to do that, the close rates are higher, specifically on the proposal side of things. So as you can see here, this is our current AI workforce. So it's great. It really doesn't take too long to spin up a new custom assistant here, but there's a little bit of back and forth there that we use in configuration to make sure it's doing what we want it to do. And really, what's really neat is that once we have one created, they can actually work with each other and through automations and can lead from one thing to the next, and we can have a conversation with Clara on voice receptionist that could go to Banks with his sales proposal, and that can be then sent to Brooke for her to create a contract. So it's really streamlined our process here. One of the early goals that I had with AI is just to become more efficient. So I really wanted to take that opportunity to optimize my calendar. So my goal is I need to be in front of as many customers every day as possible. The more people we can talk to, the more people have a chance to get in front of and share what we can do, the more opportunities we have, obviously. But the problem is that I need time to get back to them. So that piece inevitably gets pushed back down the funnel to it's a day or two down the line, and they're just now hearing back from me from a conversation a few days ago with a proposal or recommendation here. So I've got broken Banks here. It kind of depends on where we're at in the process. I'm actually going to go to Banks and look at him. We're going to start a chat here with Banks. And we can, the idea with banks is to share a transcript from a video call or share our notes from a conversation that, okay, this is what we talked about, and we need to create a proposal or an email with recommendations in it with pricing. So we've trained banks here to be able to know our company and our services inside and out, and we can simply paste in here or type it out even a transcript, or paste in here our notes and what we want the recommendation to be. So I'm just going to switch over here to another tab. I'm going to pull a conversation I have. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit. Here we go. We'll pull this one here. We're going to take this. I'm going to view the meeting, and then I'm just going to pull the transcript from this call. So we will download that. I'm going to, I need to open it in another tab. I'm sorry. All right, got a little bit of bandwidth lag, but things are flowing here. So we're just going to copy our transcript in. And I'm going to paste that into banks. So if you didn't notice, our company's name is Blue River Digital, so all of our receptionists are named after something with river or water or marketing. So I just pasted that transcript in here. And it's going to take a little bit here to think about what we discussed and pull out some information, and then it's going to generate an email recommendation momentarily. There we go. So at the end of every one, as you see here at the bottom, this is for my information. I can put it in our CRM, and we can make sure we have the appropriate steps to follow up. But if you come down, we have the email already crafted and ready just to kind of paste into place here. So we can critique this a little bit on what we want it to say. But this gives me all of the important pieces that we talked about in the meeting. I can go in and say, okay, I need to sell this for $400 a month. I need to sell this for website build for $5,000, and it knows what's included with that, what's included with the website build, what's included with the local SEO package that we offer them, and we just paste it in our email and send. So obviously, I think there's a lot more automation that can be done here that we're working on developing. We're definitely in the very early stages of this, but we're really excited with where it's at right now. And now, so we are able to utilize this tool on a daily basis. So after our meetings, we've moved it over here to our partner center, so it's easier to show here for the demo. But we're able to use this as a team to go in, share our notes from our meetings throughout the day, and in the last 30 minutes of the day or whatnot, we can get through 4 or 5 different meetings and get emails sent back out, so they're in their inboxes. So yeah, really, the moral of the story is the faster we can get back to our customers, the more likely we are to close. So this was just a need that we saw that we wanted to answer, a challenge that we had that we needed to answer, and we could you could use the same exact process in your own company, or you can offer this assistant, a variation of the assistant to our customers, so and monetize it as well. So, there you go.
Well, Nick, thanks for showing that. I love the name of banks because it fits with your company, but also like financial, he's doing the clever. Okay, great.
One of my favorite pieces is just naming them.
I also love that part. And everyone hates that like tedium of doing the proposal and the follow-up stuff. So very cool that you're automating that. Michael, same ask. Can you show us how you're using this today? I think you've got 2 really cool use cases to show us.
Yeah, I'll start with a similar problem we were trying to solve to what Nick talked about. For us, as you asked me earlier with the pain points and whatever, the cool thing about this is that if we just get started in it, what we start to learn is possible is really changing very quickly. And so one of the areas for us, as I mentioned, a pain point for us was limited resources, just like Nick talked about, right? And so how could we streamline this. So I'll just take a couple minutes and I'll just show you Klagent. So we've developed Klagent as our programmatic assistant. It lives inside of our business app. And kind of what we were trying to solve with this was we as a team, as a company, we don't sell as much programmatic advertising, OTT, CTV, geofencing, as we do more traditional search social campaigns. And so our sales teams and our account management teams, it's just a lot to learn. And it's a really, really big space with a lot of different opportunities. And so one of the ways that what we came up with was, I should say the challenge that we were facing is that if a client brought a scenario to us, said, hey, this is what's going on, programmatic might be an opportunity. The process to be able to get the recommendations back to that client or that prospect could take a while, right? Because our account manager or sales team then comes back to our product expert, and our product expert tries to figure out time where they can meet. They talk about it. So you can imagine everybody, I'm sure, here knows this challenge that we all face. So what we did was we developed Klagent. And the way that we developed them was we were able to upload all of the knowledge that we had via files, spreadsheets, of all of the data that we had used as our kind of library before. And then we just kind of started giving him more and more information about what the product experts would know. Within a very short time period, within a couple of weeks, we felt comfortable that he absolutely knew more than even we knew in this particular scenario. So I'll just show you a quick example of what this would look like. So this was a hair salon we were meeting with. And so while the meeting was going on, our screen was open and we were just typing the needs. So this is a local hair salon, multiple locations. They were trying to recruit new stylists. What ideas would he have? And so within a minute, we got a full breakout of what programmatic options would be the best, what might the calculations be for what it would cost, and then what steps would we take next. And so just by going through by building that out, you can just imagine how much time Klagent saves us when it comes to kind of putting together a recommendation for something, like I said, that we may not work with every day. So that's one. The second one I wanted to bring up was just kind of how we're prospecting this to our clients, because it is such an interesting, it's this unknown, as we've talked about for so many of our clients, and it's scary, and AI, and we talk about what AI means for the world, right? And so what I love about what we're able to do here is to kind of compartmentalize those concerns and say, but what can AI help us do right now for small, medium-sized businesses? And it's really, it's fine to talk about in concept, but when it comes to like the actual, how do we actually do this? And how do I show a client this? I just thought I would share how we're prospecting it. One of the cool things, and just a ton of credit to Vendasta for making this available to us. Inside of maybe 10 minutes, we can spin up a custom assistant for anybody that is currently in our system. And so inside the business app, we literally would just go into, so I'm in a client right now. And on the side, as long as they have just one basic product, which is free, by the way, we can, we'll see the opportunity for this AI workforce. This is before the client signs. So they haven't even seen this yet. This is our introduction into how they can start to see what AI might be able to do for them. So literally all we would do is we go in here to this AI workforce. These will be out of the box here. This chat receptionist is where we start. So we would just go in and configure. And then I just utilize, I use Gemini, you can use ChatGPT, whatever, to come up with a name. So literally I go through and I just say, hey, this is for a water damage restoration company. So I would say, what would be a clever name for that shows, I'm knowledgeable, whatever. And so I stole that name right there from Gemini. And then same thing with the image. I just say, hey, what would somebody name Resolve look like? I'm prompting Gemini for that. And then these are the out of the box prompts, which are great, that are already there. You don't have to do anything with that. I'll go down really quickly to the knowledge sources, and I just train it on the website. And so that way within an hour or so, it traditionally will have most websites fully trained on. So the knowledge sources is done. And then all I do is I go in here and just tell, in this case, Resolve, how to communicate. Seems like a lot here, I'm sure, but it's really, really simple, because all I do is, again, go to Gemini and I just say, write a series of prompts that, how would my custom assistant use this? So again, this is not personalized yet to the client. This is just to give them an idea. So the end result is a is this when I go, I should show you really quick. So if I come out of here and I go to try it right here, it'll open up this window, which is now in a dev environment. So it's not live on the client site. It certainly has not been trained exactly how our client would want it to be trained, but it knows the entire website and it's got some basic prompts about how to interact. And so I would just go in and when I do the demo or the very initial sales appointment with the potential client or the prospect, I'll just pull this up and I can show them how much this AI assistant already knows about their business. When we do this, our close rates on this are pretty high because it's a great follow-up piece as well. So then I just send them the link, the dev link here, and say, hey, go play with it. I'll usually actually, in a lot of cases, we'll send this to them before we ever get on a call and just send them the link and say, hey, in the meantime, I spun this up for you. Go take a peek and just ask it questions and see how good it is at answering. And that makes this makes the sales process, the sales process substantially easier, but it also makes, if they do decide to move forward, we've already got so much of the fulfillment done on the way to getting it loaded live on their site. So those are two things I thought I'd show.
Well, thanks, Michael. Those are both super cool use cases, like kind of your digital twin with Klabon a little bit with that programmatic knowledge. But I love the prospecting and how it's just out of the box, but it's still hyper personalized. So thank you both for sharing. I was going to put you both on the spot and ask you what you would name your digital twin, but we're a little over time. So I'll put that question to the chat. So if you guys have a good digital twin name for Michael or Nick, put it in the chat or for yourself.
Oh boy.
Thanks.
This is exactly the kind of insight I was hoping to get from this. So real tools and results and ideas. So thank you both. I just want to thank you both, from Nick Prentice from Blue River Digital and Michael Klabon from the Xcite Media Group, for being early believers and bold builders. Thank you, guys.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
A huge thank you to Michael and Nick for sharing some of those amazing insights. These partners are doing incredible things with AI, and they're both visionaries. We're so grateful to have them take time to participate, and it's always powerful to hear real-world success stories and to learn from each other. I just love how Michael is using the AI receptionist out of the box with 5 minutes of setup to close deals and make an impression in the initial sales meeting. That wraps up our main stage. Thanks so much for joining us at Vendasta Connect. Today, you've seen how AI-powered conversations are helping businesses like yours attract, convert, and retain customers more effectively. You've learned how Conversations AI captures leads, handles conversations across every channel, and keeps customers engaged automatically. And now it's time to dive even deeper. We've got 2 live workshops starting right away, and I want you to pick the one that best suits what you want to learn next. The first one, the AI Employee Go-to-Market Blueprint. In this workshop, Logan and Alistair will show you how to turn AI-powered employees into a service that your clients want to buy. You'll learn how to package, price, and position AI to solve real business problems and walk away with a blueprint to drive new revenue. The second one is unlocking custom capabilities. And in this session, Madison and Dakota will walk you through how to tailor AI workflows for specific client needs. You'll learn how to unlock powerful new use cases and deliver even more value by expanding what your AI employees can handle. The workshops are in the links for the workshops are in the chat. Go ahead, click on the one that's right for you. And the last thing, we'll be sending out a short post-event survey, and it only takes a minute, but we would really appreciate the feedback and how you've found this event that we've run. Thanks again for being part of today's event. This is a historic moment for Vendasta, and we're so thrilled that to share it with you and that you came along for the ride. We'll see you in the workshops, everybody.